Hello everybody, this is Musab Ahmad. I'm going to record this brief presentation to explain to you how to apply for postgraduate training authorization letter, also known as PTAL or California letter. So why would you need this letter? So this letter is required if you are looking for postgraduate training, residency training in the state of California. Also, IMG residents in the United States, any IMG residents, a graduate of a foreign medical school who want to apply for a fellowship need to go through a similar process, but eventually what they get is not just a PTAL, it's a license. So what are the general requirements? Just to give you a big picture of what you need to have before you decide to apply. You need to pass the USMLEs, the United States Medical Licensing Exams, Step 1, Step 2 CK, and Step 2 CS, and to be ECFMG certified. And you need to be a graduate from a medical school that is recognized by the Medical Board of California. And I'm going to show you now how to know if your medical school is recognized or not. And you need to have a social security number. Although this is not required by the time of sending your application. You can send your application even if you are, if you still don't have a social security number. But they will not issue you the PTAL unless you have a social security number. So you can provide your social security number if you know that you are going to have it at some point later on before you need your PTAL. So I have just I'm going to show you now how to know if your medical school is recognized by the board. So you go to the website, the Medical Board of California website, mbc.ca.org. okay, mbc.ca.org. Now when you go to the website, I'm going to show you where exactly to look for the list of recognized medical let me see, there's a problem. mbc. So there are some medical schools that are recognized. So this is the website. This is the front page of the website. You go to applicants, click on applicant. All right, applicant. Now when you go to applicant, you don't have to click. You just wave the mouse. You go to applicants and then physicians and surgeons. And then you scroll down, and this is the play field. This square has everything you need. So everything you need is here. So we go to recognized medical schools, and it's going to bring you here, medical schools recognized by the Medical Board of California. Are you following the steps? It's pretty easy. And then you go to medical schools recognized by the Medical Board of California, and then you select a country. Let's see, for example, Egypt. So if you see Egypt here, you're going to see all the medical schools that are recognized by the Medical Board of California. If your medical school is not in the list, you may probably need to contact the Medical Board of California. I'm not sure about the process of adding a medical school that does not exist. So let's look, for example, to India. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. India, where are you? Here you go. So India. Oh, look at these medical schools. All these medical schools are recognized by the Medical Board of California. Now back to our presentation. Now I have just a small comment about the ECFMG certification. You can send your application before you are ECFMG certified. Once you are ECFMG certified, you let them know. So I had this question. I emailed them asking this question because they had to send my application by the last week of April, and I expected to be ECFMG certified by the third week of May. And I asked them if I indicate on the application I'm still not ECFMG certified because I'm sending my application 4 weeks before my ECFMG certification will be issued. So they said it's okay, it's fine. You can send your application. I mean, if you are now studying for your CK exam, you expect to give the exam like next week, and or you are expecting your score in 3 weeks, you can send your application, and once you are ECFMG certified, you provide them with your ECFMG certification status from the ECFMG, and I will show you how to do that. Another question is about Social Security. Okay, so I have no Social Security number currently. Will that delay the processing of my application? She said no, it will not delay the processing of establishing an application. However, it is required for licensor or PTAL. The two most common questions that people ask: how much time it takes. So people ask the board, and the board has this statement on their website. It's a very vague answer. They said within 60 working days we will process your application. But I would say the biggest determinant factor for how much time it's going to take is you. If you complete everything in time, I think it's not gonna take that long. And I say approximately because in my situation, I sent my application the last week of April, and I get the PTAL last week of September. So it took me 5 months, and I think that would be because I didn't know some of the steps along the way, and I sent some papers a little bit later. How much money does it cost? So the application fees are $491. Probably that's the most expensive paper you will buy in your entire life. $491. That's just the application fees, and there are other expenses like sending your ECFMG certificate, your USMLE transcript. That's going to cost you about $100, $105, and if you consider sending international shipment from your medical schools and other stuff. I will show you now what we need to send and from where. So a question from where. I just want to give you a big picture so that you know what you need to coordinate. So you need to send some papers from you, and some papers from your medical school, and some papers from the ECFMG, and some from the FSMBE, Federation of State Medical Boards, and from a translation agency of office, if applicable, of your medical school diploma or transcript are not issued in English. You need to translate them and have them sent from a translation agency or office directly to the medical board. You don't take them from the translation agency and you send them yourself. No. You need to have them sent to the Medical Board of California from that translation office. Okay, so from you. I think it's a good idea if you can now have a pen and a paper and write down from you, your medical school, ECFMG, FSMB, translation agency. I'm going to tell you now what you need to send from your side, from your medical school, from the ECFMG, and from the FSMB. We're going to fill the gaps, okay? Alright, so from you, what you need to send from you is the fees, plus the fees schedule. I will show you now what are those, and then the application form, which is L1A to F. It's 6 pages, L1A, B, C, D, F. That's the application you need to send from yourself. And the timeline of activities, it's basically just a paper with all the activities that you have been doing and that you have done after graduation until the time of application to the PTAL, and a CV and a fingerprint cards. The CV has to be signed and dated. You sign your CV and date it, okay? And fingerprint cards, these are later on. You don't send them initially because you don't have them. So when you send your application to the board is going to send you the fingerprint cards to your address, the address that you provided. You take those cards and you fingerprint. You go and you do fingerprinting, and you put those cards back in the envelope and you send them back to the Medical Board of California. Okay? Alright. So from the ECFMG, what you need to send from the ECFMG is the ECFMG certification status report. So this is going to say that, oh, this guy is ECFMG certified and this paper costs some money. I think it costs around $35. I think you need to check you need to check that online to make sure your information are up to date. Okay, so let's go to the website. It's the service called Certification Verification Service. Okay, and this service is going to basically, you are going to use it to send your ECFMG certification status. So it's ecfmg.org CVS. Okay, you can Google it. Basically, you can say ECFMG CVS, whatever. Not the pharmacy, CVS online. Okay, so CVS online, and if you are an international medical graduate, log in here. So you click here and go to CVS online. So if you click go to CVS online, it's gonna ask you for your USMLE ID and your password. It's the same thing that you use to access Iowa or Oasis. I'm sure you are familiar with that because you have done your exams. Okay, so when you go there, you can request ECFMG, and they are gonna ask you, to whom do you want to send it? You say to California. Where in California? You say the Medical Board of California. And they know the address and they're gonna send it. I think it takes approximately around 5 days. I believe so. Okay, so that's how you send. That's what you need to send from the ECFMG. That's it. Very simple, very straightforward. And then from the FSMB, the Federation of State Medical Boards, you need to send your USMLE transcript. I think it's a good idea that you send your application first from yourself, and then you send this stuff. Because if you send this stuff to the board, I think the board will be confused. They'll be like, oh, who's this guy? We don't know this guy. Who's this guy? So send your application first, so that the board open a case and a file for you and assign you a number. They call it a file number, and then you can send this stuff. So let's see how to send the transcript. So the transcript. We go to the press symbol fsmb.org. When you go to that website, you go to sign in here. You see in the corner top right, I'm here. You click here and you go USMLE transcripts, and it's gonna show you your USMLE ID, and you need to create an account probably. So if you create an account, it's very simple. It's just gonna say create an account. They're gonna ask you for your information, USMLE ID, and you create a password. You log in and you request a USMLE transcript, and you pay the fees. The fees, I believe, are $70 if they haven't changed them, and it takes about 5 days. So the ECFMG certification status report will take $35. The USMLE transcript is about $70, so it's almost $105. Okay, in addition to the $491 application fees. Those are things that you need to pay. So, and then there's some stuff from your medical schools. Okay, so from your medical schools, you need to send something called Form L2, Certificate of Medical Education. This one is basically gonna say, oh, this guy started medical school at this date, this guy finished medical school at this date, this guy didn't have any problems in medical school, this guy's good. And an official in medical school is gonna sign it and dates it. And a certified copy of medical school diploma is going to have a copy of your medical school diploma, and is going to write on top of it, certified, is going to write on top of it, this is a true copy of the original, sign, date, stamp, write on the diploma. The official in your medical school is going to write on the diploma, this is a true copy of the original, and he's gonna sign, date, and stamp. Same thing on transcript, true copy of original, sign, date, and stamp. And then something called certificate clinical training, that Form L5, And this form is very important and it needs further explanation. I'm gonna explain it to you now. Okay. Now we have the big picture, and we have an overview of how every thing is working. I just want to check out how much time we have. Oh, 15 minutes. Okay, so this is just an overview. Now you know, now you probably know what are the requirements, generally speaking. Now let's go to the website and check the forms one by one. This is the Medical Board of California, right? The website. Now let's do it again. Let's say mbc.ca.gov. Applicant, you just wave the mouse, hello, hello, and then you go to physicians and surgeons, and then you go to the play field. Everything you need is here. You can click on PTAL, okay, and or you can click on individual application forms. I prefer this one actually. So when you click on individual application forms, it's gonna show you all the application forms for everything. This one is not for you. This one is for US medical school graduates, right? This one is for IMG graduates applying for a license. This is gonna be for people who are applying for fellowship because they are eligible for a license because they have completed 2 years of residency training in ACGME accredited program, so they can apply for a license and get to go for a fellowship in California. Okay, this is for people applying for fellowship. It's pretty much very similar to PTAL requirements. Very similar to PTAL requirements. They just need 1 or 2 more forms from their residency programs saying that okay, this guy did this and this in residency. When did he start residency, and signed by the program director. And this is our guy PTAL. Okay, so this is PTAL, individual forms for PTAL. So let's go to the checklist. I love the checklist because it is going to give you everything required, and you can just print it out. I think it's a good idea if you can pause the video now and go ahead and print this checklist. If you print the checklist, you can follow with me what you need to send. So the application fees $491, a check, or I think there are 2 other methods of payments. I did the check. It was pretty easy, and then you need to send the application form. So let's go by checklist. I think it's a good idea. We go by checklist. I'm going to show you each item, the checklist. So the application fees, a check. You make a check payable to the Medical Board of California. I think they will say it somewhere what to write exactly in the check. I think it is Medical Board of California. And then the application for the PTAL, it is form L1A to L1F. Let's see, where is the application for PTAL? We said L1A to L1F, right? This is it. This is the application. Click here. L1A, L1B, L1C. This is the application. So you can fill the application on the computer, but I think you cannot save it. So if you fill it out, you need to print it right away, because if you try to save it, everything is gonna get lost. I don't know. That was the problem I faced. So I'm just giving you a head up. So PTAL, you click on PTAL, check PTAL, and here I had a problem checking. I don't know why it was not. Oh, okay, so it's working. International Medical School graduate, and then you fill your information. Very simple stuff. So the social security number, since you don't have it, you can simply write here, handwriting. You can write, I will provide this once I receive it. And then male or female, date of birth, place of birth, your address, all the information. Now I just want you to notice something. They have here a small checkbox. These are for the Medical Board of California use. They check these boxes if everything here is complete. So if anything is missing, you may risk they may not check this. So you may get your application may get denied. So you make sure you fill out everything. Have you ever simple questions, okay? If you have ever previously had a license in California, simple questions. Exams, any irregular behavior during exams, simple questions. Are you certified by the ACFMG? If you are not, you can simply say no. It's fine. Once you are certified, you send them the status report as I showed you, okay, from the CVS. And then the examinations, the USMLE examination, the dates and results, okay. And then the medical schools that you attended. If you attended more than one, you write them, okay. And the mailing address of your medical school, and when did you start it, when did you end your medical school, and the school of graduation, the last medical school that you graduated from, and the title of degree awarded, and BBC, HRMD, and the issue date of degree, the date that is written on your diploma, the date of issuance, okay. And did you ever take any absence or leave from medical schools? And so these questions you better answer no, because if you answer any questions yes, look here, a yes response to questions 18 to 22 requires a signed and dated written explanation, okay. So you better have no problems here. And then this is for ACGME accredited postgraduate training. If you have done any residency in ACGME accredited graduate program, or in a Canadian program, you can say yes, and then you start where was the program, address of program, what specialty, when did you start, when you ended. I think this is going to be required for residents who are applying to fellowships in California. They may need to fill out this, even if you haven't completed, okay, even if you haven't completed your program, you fill it. If you are like me, just an IMG, and you didn't do any of those postgraduate trainings, you say no, and you skip to question 33. Where's 33? Here you go. Medical license. Have you ever had any license in the United States? You say no. Okay. It's not necessary to list temporary training or provisional licenses. If you have a temporary license, for example, I'm doing research in Florida, and in Florida, to do research in the facility I'm doing research, we need to have a temporary Florida license, and that one doesn't count. You say no. Okay, I said no. Okay, but if you have a license, yeah, you say yes. Okay, and you fill the information. ABM certification. If you have any American board of medical specialties, if you have passed any boards, like real board, not USMLEs, like real boards, okay, you say what's the board and the certificate number, expiration date. If not, say no. And if you say no here, don't skip these, don't skip 35 and 36, say no, okay. Even though it's not applicable, you say no, okay. And then you write your name, date of birth, okay. That's a 1C. We are done with 3 pages, 3 more to go. Are you registered DA? I'm not, so you say no. Malpractice, no. Hopefully. Disciplinary, hopefully, no. If you say yes to any of these, you have to sign and date, provide a signed and dated written explanation. Criminal record history, hopefully no. Practice impairment, hopefully all no. Applicant name, date of birth. And last page, you have your picture here, 2 inches by 2 inches. You attach it here, and you make sure it matches the requirements here. You make sure they are gonna check this. If your picture is good. And here the applicant, you write your name, date of birth, and you sign and you date, okay. And then you go to a notary public. A notary public is a service that is going to say that this guy is gonna sign this section, and basically what he's saying here is that you were in front of him and you signed here in front of him, and it looks like that you are the person who filled the application, and he's gonna fill this information and he's gonna put the seal here, and sometimes he's gonna stamp your photo. Depends where you do it, okay. So notary public, okay, where can I find a notary public? Okay, that's a very good question. In the United States, they have it in many places. Many banks have it. I think some places like FedEx sometimes have it. I think the DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles, sometimes have it. So you need to search. You need to use a nice website called they call it Google. Yes, Google. Okay, so it's google.com. okay, look for this nice beautiful website, Google. Okay, if you Google it, you will find it. I did it in the US Embassy, and because the place I was what happened, I did in the US Embassy, and they charge you $50 for doing it. So it's a nice service. They do it perfectly, actually. Okay, this is the application form. Once you are done with this form, you have it notarized, have the form in one envelope. Okay, now this envelope is gonna go from you. Now we have how many items in the envelope so far? We have the application fees as a check, and we have the application form in the envelope. That envelope is gonna go from you. You are gonna send it using your name, okay, or your brother's name, doesn't matter. Okay, so fingerprints. Okay, fingerprints is something that you do at the end, not at the end. After they receive your application, the board, they're gonna mail you the fingerprints cards, and you do them, and then you send them back to the board. Now the fingerprinting, I did it wrong, and that caused some delay in my application. You don't use ink, right? You know that. So the way you do it, you go to some what they call them. I went to a police station, basically, not a station, police office, the sheriff office in Florida, and I called them and I asked if they have fingerprinting service. They said yeah, but you need to bring your cards with you. I said okay, I have my cards with me, and they fingerprint you and they fill out the information and they provide you with a certificate or something. You put all that in one envelope and you send it back to the Medical Board of California. That's how I did it. And then timeline of activities. So now we have application fees, application forms in one envelope. You are gonna add timeline of activities in that same envelope. Timeline of activities. Let's look at the forms. Timeline. Here you go. Timeline of activities. So timeline of activities. So what they need to know is, so your information, and then you have what did you do after medical school since your graduation. So you write what you did, whatever it is: volunteer, observership, research, externship, elective, residency, internship, doesn't matter. You write what you did, and you write what's the activity. Is it observership or internship or what? The location, when did you start, when you ended, chronologically. So that means the old stuff here, the new stuff down below. Okay, and then if you did anything inside California, you may need to explain a little bit on that. You may say we did this and this and that. So they will say please include a detailed description of your duties and responsibilities for any externship, observership, or volunteer activity in California. If outside California, you don't have to do that. You just write what you did. Okay, so this is a checklist. If you have done a lot of stuff, you may use 2 copies, 3 copies of this, 4 copies, doesn't matter. You just sign, date, and put this with the other stuff. Where's the checklist? With the other stuff. So now we have application fees, application itself, timeline of activities in one envelope. Okay? So these are stuff that's going to go from your side. Okay? There are one more item. I'll show it to you now, which is basically your CV. Let's just do it now. Your CV. Okay? So your CV, you sign it and date it. It must be current. And it must match the timeline of activities. Okay, so your CV, you put it in the same envelope. Now I think your envelope is done, the envelope that you're gonna send yourself. Okay, so and then these the stuff are done from your side. Now the stuff from the ECFMG, we saw how to do them, and the stuff from the FSMB, we saw how to do them. It's a USMLE transcript. It has your scores for all the United States medical licensing exams, and then the medical school documentation. These are stuff you need to send from your medical school. So you need to send the form L2 from your medical school. Let's look at form L2. Here you go. L2, certificate of medical education. So this one is gonna basically say your information. You check here international and you fill out your information, and the medical school official is gonna write the name of the medical school and is gonna fill out all this information, and he's gonna say, when did you start medical school, when the diploma was issued, and if you have ever left medical school for any reason, and unusual circumstances did you come to school. Hopefully you say no, 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 because if you say yes, you need to provide some written explanation. And the medical school official certification, the medical school official is gonna print the name of his name here, his title, registrar for example, and signature, and the date. And here is gonna have the seal of the medical school. Okay, the seal of the medical school. Okay, this is the official is gonna do it. He's gonna put form L2 in an envelope, and the form must be mailed directly from the medical school to the board to be acceptable. Don't send it yourself. Okay, so L2 is gonna be in one envelope. Now done with L2, let's go back to the checklist. Official transcript. He's gonna print the official in your medical school is gonna print your transcript and gonna certify it, gonna say this is a true copy of original, sign, date and stamp, and put that transcript with form L2 in the same envelope. He's gonna do the same with the diploma and put it in with L2 in the envelope. And then the English translation, you can do it from medical school, but I'm not sure how is that gonna work. But I did it from a translation agency. I found it online. They were good people. They did it for me, and it cost me $85. A lot of people are not gonna need this if your credentials are issued in English, okay? But if you need to have more information about it, you can email me. I'll put my email at the end of the presentation. You can email me, and I'll leave a comment on YouTube, and then I'm going to hopefully provide you with information where I did it, okay? And then from your medical school also, you need to send form L5, clinical training, okay? Form L5. Let's check out form L5. Here you go, certificate clinical training, okay? Why go in here? Come on, stop. Okay, so form L5. I just hope these things work. Okay, look at that. So this is form L5. Okay, form L5 is one page, but you can print as many copies of it as you need. What's the idea of form L5? L5 idea is going to say you are going to split out all the clerkships that you have done in medical school, all your rotations in medical school. You are going to write them here in the form of rotations. And you are going to write the name of the subject, internal medicine. Where did you do it? What the name of the hospital? Which city? Which state? Which country? And what are the dates you started it? You started this date. You ended this date internal medicine, and for how many weeks you did internal medicine. Same thing with general surgery, pediatrics, gynecology, ENT, forensics, any clinical rotation you have done in medical school. You write it here with the name of the place you did it and the date you attended and for how many weeks. So the requirements for the Medical Board of California are like this. They need you to have a minimum of 8 weeks in internal medicine. Minimum 8 weeks. If in your medical school you do 6 weeks, that's not good. That's not enough. 6 weeks are not enough. So the board is going to say you are not qualified to apply to practice medicine in California. Basically, this is what they are going to say to you. You need to repeat your medical school or do more rotations somewhere. So 8 weeks of internal medicine, 8 weeks of surgery, 6 weeks of pediatrics, 6 weeks of gynecology, 4 weeks of psychiatry, and 4 weeks of family medicine. Okay? And you're gonna write them. So basically, if you're medical school, what you need to do is to to write all those rotations from your transcript. For example, you can see which date you started internal medicine, which semester you did it, and then you write internal medicine where you did it, and then you write when did you start it, when did you end it, for how many weeks, and then after that you started surgery in the same semester, and you write surgery, and you write when did you start it, when did you end it. Same thing gynecology, same thing pediatrics. If you take internal medicine again in your fifth year, you do that again. You say internal medicine in your fourth year, and you write the date you started in your fifth year internal medicine. If you did internal medicine in your sixth year again, also you say internal medicine, and then you write. So you got my point. You write them. You write everything you did in your fourth, fifth, and sixth year. I'm talking this system because this is the system most international graduates, and this is the system that we had in our medical school. We have 3 years of clinical training. So in the fourth year, we take multiple subjects together for the whole year. So basically what you need to say in your fourth year, I started internal medicine, and then surgery, and then pediatrics, and then gynecology, and then you write them in the form of weeks. And then if you have internal medicine again in your fifth year, you also write it internal medicine, and then surgery, and then pediatrics, and then gynecology. If you have pediatrics and gynecology again in fifth year. If not, if you have ENT, write ENT. If you have forensics, write forensics. If you have ophthalmology, write ophthalmology. Okay, so that's what you need to do. And so the official in your medical school is going to fill this out. Okay, the official in your medical school is going to fill this out. Okay, and he's going to print his name, his title, sign and date, and put the seal. And this one needs to be sent directly from the board of California. So now, directly from your medical school to the board of the Medical Board of California. Come on, MBC. So this is their address. They have their address at the bottom of each form. So this is good. This is going to help you. So timeline of activities. Now we are done with this. Let's close it. This is form L1. We are done with that one. The checklist. Okay. So from your medical school, L5. Now we have it in that envelope, and we have the diploma, the transcript, and the L2. Simple stuff, huh? Simple stuff. The translation, if you need to do it, just contact me, and I will let you know how to do it. Okay? Because I did it and it was accepted, so I think it's a good idea to do it from a similar place, so do it similarly. Now L5. Now we have it in the same envelope. That's it. Now the official in your medical school is going to close the envelope and stamp it and mail it to the Medical Board of California, to their address. This is their address. Okay, this is their address. Okay, you see it here. Now there are some other stuff that most of people will not need. Certificate of Individual Clinical Clerkship Training, if applicable. This one, if you have done any clerkship in your fourth, fifth, or sixth year outside of your medical school hospital, the primary teaching hospital of your medical school, you need to have this form, and you need to have it signed by the current program director or clinical instructor. Okay. All right. So that's pretty much it on what to send from medical school. Just use this checklist and remember what I said, and have the checklist in front of you, and check the website, the medical board website, as I did here, and hopefully I hope everything was clear. The FSMB, the ECFMG, I hope I didn't forget anything, and the fingerprinting, we talked about that. So this is everything you need to know. Other items, explanation to questions. If you said yes to any of those questions, you need to have the explanation form and send it. What else? So by the end, so it took me 5 months. At the end of those 5 months, they emailed me the PTAL. And it took a couple of days until they sent me a hard copy of it, and I'm just gonna show you how does it look like. This is PTAL. This is PTAL. Dear applicant, your application has been reviewed. Our evaluation has determined that your undergraduate medical education and clinical training satisfies the requirement of section blah 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 blah. So basically I'm saying, okay, your medical school training and education meet the criteria of the Medical Board of California. That's the whole idea of PTAL. That's the whole idea of PTAL. Plus fingerprinting, they want to make sure that you have no problems, no troubles. They're gonna send it to the FBI and make sure everything is good. And money. You're gonna take that $491. Okay. So in the application, there's something called schedule fees. I'm not sure how important is that fee schedule, but I sent it. I was just conservative. I said let's send everything. The fee schedule is gonna tell you what is required. It's just the $491. Okay, that's it. Okay, and then you write here the total amount. I wrote here $491. This one they say if you want to volunteer and pay some more money, if you don't want to, just write $491. And I put the check here. Okay, and I fold this paper in the check, and I put it in the envelope and I send it. That's it. So the check must be payable here to Medical Board of California. You can also do money order. You can do cashier's check, certified check, personal check. Okay, you send them to the Medical Board of California. This is what you write in the check: Medical Board of California. Okay. Alrighty. What else? Explanation. What else? I think that's it. So you can click. There is something. Okay. Yep. I think this is. Yes, this is it. So I don't know if you remember what I clicked. Okay. So what happened? Okay, applicants, postgraduate training realization. So these are the individual forms, and this is the whole. All these forms are combined in one PDF file. If you click here, look, 23 pages, everything in one file. The first 5 pages are explanation. Why PTAL? And what are the general requirements? And what are all the stuff I said? All the stuff I said are here. And this is again the checklist. All the stuff I said, okay? And then you are gonna have the forms, okay? This is the checklist, okay? And then you're gonna have the fee schedule, okay? And then the credentials, how to translate them, okay? And then they are gonna tell you explanation to any questions, okay? If you said yes to those questions, you explain why yes, and timeline of activities, and the application, which is L1A, L1B, L1C, L1D, L1E, L1F, and then Form L2, certification of medical education, and then Form L3, if you had any residency training, you fill this form. This is for residents, okay? You write where did you do your residency, okay? And the hospital seal, okay? And then certificate clinical training, L5, okay? And then L6 if you have done any clerkship outside of your primary teaching hospital, if your medical school primary teaching hospital. Okay, I think that's it on PTAL, and I wish you all the best of luck. And if you have any questions, and if I missed anything, I will hopefully add that to the description of the video on YouTube, and you can contact me anytime. I will just write you my email here. So this is my email. If you have any questions, musabmdn@hotmail.com. You can email me, musabmdn@hotmail.com. The password is sorry, I'm not gonna give you the password, of course. So this is the email. You can send me an email with any questions you have regarding PTAL. And I wish you all the best of luck, and enjoy California. Enjoy California.